What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is Married to Medicine, season 8, episode 8. So, listen, we're back where we left off. They're on their way home from downtown, from scoping out what they need to scope out. The ladies are back at the house talking trash. Carrie talking about, that contestant said she was the smart one and she wants them with her and on their side or whatever nonsense, child. So of course they done got all worked up about that. But let me tell you, the funniest scene of the whole damn episode was Anila trying to get Cecil and Curtis to take pictures of her by the pool in her bathing suit. They were like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. She said, what? I'm a blogger. I just need somebody to take pictures. They said, no, we not. Nope. We're not doing that. She said, I can't take no pic. They said, we'll find somebody, but we not. And Curtis was the first one to be like, no, ma'am, nope. So anyway, that was hilarious. So the ladies get back. I mean, everybody gets back. And of course, the ladies are telling the guys about the comment about the smart ones. And of course, Anila's husband and Curtis are like, I'm sorry, y'all. Eugene are like, whatever, we know who the real smart people are, whatever. So they're preparing food. Eugene and Karen, they're, doing, shrimp and doing stuff on the grill. All of them have invited guests over. So Dr. Jackie has invited some of her doctor friends. Interestingly enough, one is a plastic surgeon, Dr. Nia. Another one is a dentist. The plastic surgeon does mommy makeovers. Y'all know what I'm talking about, the mommy makeovers. Jackie say, listen, I get them out, and she, fixes them right on up, honey. Listen. Am I the only one that sort of picked up on a little bit of maybe Married to DC footprints here? I mean, we know that, they had an anesthesiologist, a dentist, a OBGYN. Now, we know that, Married to Medicine LA, it only lasted 2 seasons. And we know Married to Medicine, the one that was in Texas, didn't do well either. But I'm wondering, I was just curious that we had 3 female black doctors. I don't know. Interesting. Now, Eugene invited his mom and his brother because, Eugene is from D.C. He grew up in D.C. Me and Eugene probably know people who know people together because we're around the same age and we grew up here in D.C. together. But anyway, you know how that 6 degrees of separation thing works, child. Because he talked about, growing up in D.C. in the, in the 80s, 90s or whatever. So, now, Toya asked the ladies if they want a drink, and they were telling her what they wanted, and she started talking about how they were real picky about what they want to drink and how they was being a little too picky, honey. But I felt like they weren't picky; they were specific, And just because you don't have it on your bottle don't make it picky. It just means I know what I like, You ask me what I want to drink, give me a Jack Daniels. You don't have Jack Daniels, don't get mad at me because you ain't got what I asked for. That's what I told you I wanted. I said I want some Jack Daniels. Anyway. Now, that one doctor, the dentist, she was a little special. She started talking about how long she had been there, how ain't nobody offered her nothing to eat. And y'all invited me over here, and I'm not eating yet. And they were like, okay, well, the guys are getting the food together now. Like, what are you talking about? Well, I mean, we don't have no hors d'oeuvres or nothing. I mean, I'm a little bit hungry. Baby, and then she turned to the wrong one. Baby, she turned to Dr. Heavenly, wanting to know why she don't have no food. Dr. Heavenly said, I don't know, bitch. I didn't even invite you. Now, listen. I normally ain't here for Dr. Heavenly and her outburst, but in that moment, I was with her. I felt one. I was like, what you mean? I don't even know you. You better ask the person that invited you or sit back here and enjoy your cocktail. We said they cooking on the grill. You know food ain't never ready when you get to a black people cookout. And the only hors d'oeuvres you getting is some chips and some dip, okay? Some salsa and some nachos. You need to go sit down somewhere. Dr. Simone took her in the kitchen, honey, to go let her get some snacks or get her something to eat. Baby, while this happened, Eugene's people showed up, and Toya said, listen, when I first started dating Eugene, mama loved me. But now, Eugene was like, now what? She said, Eugene said, listen, my mama's just not used to a woman being as vocal as Toya is. She's got, basically, you got too much damn mouth for your mother-in-law. That's what it boils down to. You got too much mouth for your mother-in-law. So anyway, they have all the women over there. I mean, you know, all the ladies on one side, all the guys on the other side. And Toya took her mother-in-law over to where the ladies were. Curtis gonna say, let us know if you need us. I mean, Cecil. He's talking about just holler if you need me. You come on back over here if you want to. Whenever you're ready, you can come back on over here. Because he know how them women get. He knows how them women get. So they all get over there and listen. Instead of them just having a good afternoon by the pool, enjoying each other's company, talking about what they there for, talking about being doctors, being wives of doctors, whatever the hell the conversation was going to be, that damn Simone talks about, we need to resolve some issues. We need to figure out what it is we need to do to get past what we need to get past. See, that is house talk. That is not the conversation you have in front of company. That is a conversation you have when it is just us. Y'all have invited all kinds of people in the house that don't need to be privy to y'all private business. See, that's the equivalent of when you invite people over your house and your mama used to tell you that everybody don't need to know everything. They don't need to know that me and daddy was arguing before they got here, okay? That ain't their business. And I felt like that was the moment. Now I know we making a TV show, but I felt like that was a conversation that could have waited until the company left the next morning, on the private jet, on the way back home, whatever. You have a plethora of opportunity to have that conversation. That was not the time and the place, but neither here nor there. Here we go. So of course, contestant starts talking about how, well, if I got a problem with somebody, that's not my issue, that's their issue. That I just don't deal with it, you know, and move on, and this, and this. And of course, Toya, it is eating Toya up. So Toya finally says, oh, so that's why you was talking about us being dumb, and those are the smart people, and how we need to be with the smart people. Is that what it is? I mean, Carrie, you need to be with the smart people. And contestant was like, what? That ain't what I said. And honey, Dr. Heavenly just started laughing. Now, what Dr. Heavenly said in her confessional, she said, contestant said it. But what contestant said was, oh, Carrie, you're smart. We need you on our team. We need you on our side. She never said we're the smart ones, but that was the implication. You know, we playing word games. Baby, Toya, a mother-in-law, got up in the middle of that thing with an empty glass. She talking about something, I need a refill, and I'm sitting over here with y'all. I can't do that. All that fussing, I can't. No, ma'am. Not me. Nope. That's too much. So the ladies are steadily arguing, fussing and cussing, going back and forth, yelling at each other. It done got loud. It done got messy. Jackie is embarrassed because she done invited all her Sadiddy doctor friends over. The guys are sitting over there like, damn, we can't get 24 good hours. I mean, 24 good hours. And finally, everybody calms down, and they try to play it off, and they try to kumbaya. And next thing you know, the food is ready. Toya tries to go over to the guys. The guys are like, we don't want to know nothing about it. Damon was like, don't bring it to me. I don't want to know nothing about it. I don't want to hear nothing about it. She was like, you don't want to hear about what your wife... He said, nope, I sure don't. She said, but the only time your wife act like she got some sense is when you around. He was like... I mean, I told you I don't want to hear nothing about it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't care. Nothing about none of it. Nope. Nope. So anyway, that's the end of that, child. The next day, it is the March on Washington. The folks get up early. You know, the doctors get up early to go down. We see them with their glam squad at like 5 in the morning. And I know why they showed us the glam squad. We're going to get there in a minute. But I know why they showed us that they was getting glammed up at 5 in the morning. And child, Damon ain't no morning person. We find out that Dr. Damon, as nice as he is not a morning person. Leave him alone in the morning, okay? But I think part of it was, I don't think it was just him not being a morning person. I think he was tired. You know, I think he was worried and nervous, had a lot on his mind. You know, his name was on this. And he wanted it to be right. You know, he wanted to make sure everything was, all the supplies arrived, all the people were there, everything was in place. So I think it was a combination of him not being a morning person and just the importance of the day, the weight of the day was on him. But they get there back at the house. The rest of the crew is getting themselves together, and they're taking their their Uber over, and people were already lined up. I mean, I remember when I didn't go down there because I ain't gonna lie, I was worried about COVID. That was too many people for me to be around. I understand they had put a lot of things in place. I would have loved to have been there for the 57th anniversary of the March on Washington, but I just couldn't do it. I'm sorry, I just couldn't bring myself to do it. But I had a lot of friends who went down there. I had people who came from out of town that went down there. It was a beautiful day. I watched it on C-SPAN, or CNN or something. But they were all there. They were handing out masks and sanitizer, and they were testing people, and it was beautiful. It was a beautiful day. It was a beautiful moment. That is one of the things I love about this show. With all of the mess and stress and everything else, they always find a way to bring some good into it. And this was definitely a pause for the cause moment. I'm sure they impacted so many lives of testing that they did. Some people might have tested positive and got medical help they needed earlier. We saw Eugene having a conversation with a young guy who was HIV positive, and he was talking about getting tested and things of that nature. So it absolutely was a moment. And then of course, they gave us a lot of footage, and they spliced the footage from 1963 to this March, and it was a moment. They were able to wrap up their tent early enough to go hear some of the speeches. They spliced in some of the speeches, so it was a moment. They went back home, and everybody was feeling good. Now I thought they was gonna take them a good old shower and relax the rest of the evening, but no, they didn't do that. They did. I mean, they took showers, but the ladies were going out to dinner, and the guys were staying at the house. Listen, they done messed around and left Lisa, Nicole, and Carrie Ann. They got on that shuttle. They said they were texting them and calling them, and they ain't come down fast enough, honey. They had a reservation to get to, and they took their happy tails right on over to that restaurant. I said, they left them for real? Now, the guys made sure that they called them a good old Uber and got their asses up out of there, but I said, they really left them. Now, my thing is this. I understand that y'all called and y'all texted them, but y'all know they in the house. Why y'all ain't made sure y'all talked to somebody and found out how much longer they needed? Now, maybe they would have needed too much time and y'all couldn't wait. Because the one thing I will say is, for a reservation of that size, the majority of your party need to be there. You will lose your reservation. So it could have really been a situation where they needed to leave. But I just thought, oh, damn. But anyway, child. Now, on the way over there, something very interesting happened. Anila started talking about how she ain't paid a makeup artist. Talking about, they really want their money. I'm going to pay you, damn. They need to wait. Wait a minute, what? What are they waiting for? When they are done with their service, you pay them. What is wrong with that? When you go get your hair done, you pay your stylist when they are done doing your hair. When you go get your nails done, you pay the nail tech when she is done doing your nails. You don't tell them, wait, I'll pay you. What? Excuse me? Do what? Where they do that at? And Toya was like, girl, what? She said, I recommended you. That's my reputation. I recommended these people. You need to pay them. You making me look bad out here in these streets. And then she had a nerve to say, well, I'm building me a house. So the fact that you building yourself a house justifies you not paying your bills? Then maybe you don't need glam. Maybe you don't need to get your hair and your makeup done. If that's something you need to take out of the budget, that's fine, because that is a want and not a need. And if y'all have to start, cutting back on some expenses, that's fine. But then don't get the service if you can't pay for the service. Did you think Toya was treating you for the week? Or however long they were there? I said, what? And then after Toya said something to her, she was like it wasn't a big deal. Like she didn't care. Oh, we about to have a problem. Like, you don't do that. That is so disrespectful. So then, honey, they get to the restaurant, and shortly after, here come Lisa Nicole and Carrie. Carrie, because I was calling her Carrie Ann. I think I was just adding an Ann to it, y'all. Anyway, but they were like, we did call and text y'all. Like, here go the phone. We did call and text y'all, but they sitting at the table. Carrie talking about something. Well, before we left, we made sure that Daddy wasn't misbehaving. Dr. Heavenly said, don't call my husband Daddy. He's Dr. Damon to you. She gonna say, oh, well, Dr. Damon Daddy. Again, I don't always be rocking with Heavenly, but if Heavenly had smacked the shit out of her in that moment, I'd have been like, you okay. I'd have been like, okay. Because ma'am, you don't get to call my husband Doctor nothing. I mean, well, you call him doctor, but you don't call my husband daddy. In no world is that acceptable. No, man. Anyway, especially y'all know Heavenly crazy as hell. Anyway, it is what it is, you guys. That was it. Y'all let me know what y'all think, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.